supports. It is a pleasure to come back after a 1.5-year hiatus. I got to stop these hiatuses. I know it's getting on your nerves. Thank you for your patience. Listen, I'm going to give you a disclaimer about this episode. And the disclaimer is that, listen, what I'm about to share with you is for people that want to make money using GarageBand, but don't know how to import stems and to track them. Okay, if you want to mix in GarageBand, I would suggest you get away from it because it is very tasking. I would suggest if you want to do any serious production, you would have to get Pro Tools or Logic Pro X. Okay, but if you're just trying to, send some horn parts or vocal parts and to a client that needs them, and you have a decent microphone, decent preamp, this is for the people that want to do that. So let's go ahead and open up GarageBand. Okay, I have an older copy of GarageBand, so you have to bear with me. So if you see the logo and it looks like it's antiquated, that's what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna close this particular project. Continue. So I'm gonna open up a new project. I'm gonna hit new. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up this new project right here. I thank you for the new subscribers. I put this promo out and got new subscribers, so I thank God for that. Okay, all right, moving right along. So what I just did is I opened up the new project, and what I'm doing, I gotta do this again. So we're gonna look at it. Go to the input. We'll put up a input track. Use the microphone, then you hit create. So I'm gonna just do, of course you're gonna hear a little echo, but I'm gonna take these echo things off. All right, I'm gonna do another one. Well, actually I gotta do 4, so we'll just do 4. All right. All right. So we've done 4. So the reason why you want to take this echo off, because what it does is it does a monitoring of the channel, and in my ear it's going to echo, and it will echo on you as well. Okay, so let's go over some of the parameters in GarageBand. So this is for mute. This where I'm pointing here. This is mute. This is solo. So the headphones is solo, and then that's the input echo. You don't want to do the input echo because it's got a cranky delay. All right, so I'm gonna close that tray real quick. So what I'm gonna do is I got a project of a friend of mine, and say for instance I want to let a friend of mine get on the vocals or whatever the case may be. So the first thing you see in the transport here is that you have to set the project to a certain beat per minute, and this project is actually 82 beats per minute. Okay, so I set that like this, and here's how we're going to trick, because if you look up here in these option folders, these menus, you don't see nothing where it says import track. Like in Logic you would say import file or something like that, but here that is not the case, and that is where people's frustration starts. Okay, because you can't import WAV files technically, but I'm going to show you today how to do it. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to take our pane, our arrange pane in GarageBand, and you want to set it at half mass. Okay, so you have all these different parameters that's sitting, but you got to make it small. So that's the smallest it's going to allow me to make it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, this is the project called Call His Name, right? So what I'm gonna do is I got all of the elements of that project, they're in stem mode. Okay, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take and click drag. So this is why you have the pane in half mass, because you're gonna click drag the file into the pane. Okay, so I'm gonna click right here real quick. Then we're gonna click drag onto beat number 1. Okay, That is important. Now it's going to import. Right? So let it does its thing right there. We're going to import the background vocals of the artist. I'll put that on track number 3. Now it's important when you click dragging and doing this, you have to do not double click on it, because if you double click on it, what's going to end up happening is music or iTunes is going to open up. Do the third one. Click drag. It's importing. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So we got, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of arrange these real quick. All right. You know, only thing about Logic is kind of wonkety. I mean, not Logic, but GarageBand is kind of wonkety. So some things you can do and some things you cannot do. So I'm just moving these background vocals to the bottom. So the music's at top, the lead vocals right there, and then the background vocals are sitting right there. So I'm gonna open up. And the reason again why this is at half mast with the GarageBand, because you have to. That's the only way you can get these files in. You have to move your program pane, the Garage program project pane to the left, and then you open up the files where they're contained. Okay, so we're gonna open it up. Once we open it up, this is the track we're gonna use to say blah 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 or whatever. Okay, so we're still recording up there. All right, so you probably won't hear me, you know, just clown or whatever. I'm gonna clown a little bit. Okay. That's the tempo. 2, 3, 4, 1. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so now here's where it gets a little testy, okay? So I've recorded my blah, blah, blahs or whatever the case may be. So to get this out, right, I'm more concentrated on my background vocals or whatever I just said up in here, okay? So we're gonna mute. When we export, we're gonna mute, okay? We're gonna mute that track. We're gonna mute this track. We're gonna mute that track. And what we want to do is make sure that metronome is cut off, because if you don't cut that metronome off, what's gonna happen is gonna when you export it out, that click is gonna be there, okay? So let's go here to share. So we're gonna go to share. We're gonna share to disk, okay? That's how we're gonna export out just that track, so that way we can send it to our friends so they can process it and mix it and all that good stuff, okay? So we're gonna say the name of this track is gonna be called blah, 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 right? We're gonna name it blah, 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 all right? All right, with another blah, we're on our way. Right, moving right along. Now let's talk about this export options. I'm gonna do a wave, but it needs to be uncompressed 24-bit. Okay, so we're gonna export it. All right, so it's captured just the one track. Everything that's grayed out is muted. You don't need to send the other tracks, because the producer or whoever has those tracks already. You're just concentrating on the vocal. Okay. So now we're going to minimize the screen. All right. And we look on the desktop to see if blah, blah, blah is there. And there it is. So that's how you do it. Okay. So, you know, if you was doing stack of vocals, another track, 3 vocals that the producer or whoever needs, you can set, you know, do the step-by-step, set up your microphone using the plus sign here, and you can add as many as you like, or with the producer, whoever needs, and then you can export it out. Here's the disclaimer. Again, the disclaimer is you can only do 44.1 24-bit. It won't let you go no higher than that, even though your card is able to do that, because that's one of the downplays of GarageBand. It only does 41 24-bit. great thing about that is if the person is running the session in 24, 96, or 48, you can take that, you can still send that file, and in Logic or in Pro Tools, it will allow you to convert that file to a 24-bit 96 or 48 or 192, and that's how you do that, my friend. So that's a quick class on how to trick GarageBand into importing tracks so you can create stems. Remember, the greatest takeaway from this is that whoever sends you the stems, make sure your project is set to the BPMs, or you won't be able to copy and paste properly in the session. The next thing you have to, when you go to this plus sign, you have to assign the input. That is very important. Okay. Now, again, you can try to mix in GarageBand. You can do it, but it is very hard. It's not the easiest thing to do. So, this is for purposes of people just running tracks, adding their vocals, adding their instruments, and going about their business. Okay. But again, I would suggest you get a copy of Logic Pro X in your near future, because that's the only way you're going to do it on a pro level. But this is just for people that they can't afford or they don't have Logic at the time, but you can get the job done using GarageBand and then send in those files to the producer or to the artist so they can do your thing. Now, this is a great way to make money using GarageBand, and when you charge appropriately, go and get your copy of Logic. That's my suggestion to you. Listen, it's been a pleasure for episode 16. This is my little hack that I stumbled across a couple of months ago, putting in click dragging in tracks in WAV file format, so that way you can do what you need to do, make some money, and get your real copy of Logic Pro X or Pro Tools, whatever your desire is. Listen, it's been a pleasure to show you this little hack. I just tricked GarageBand accepting these WAV files, and if you try to go up here, it's not going to work. You don't see anything where it lets you import waves. It's not happening. Okay, that's what Apple designed to do, so they can get you to get Logic, but you want to have Logic. All right, it's been a pleasure. Listen, we see you in episode number 17 very soon. Sorry it took me so long to get back to the fan base. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you